What do your other two daughters do?
My oldest daughter is a secretary at one of the schools. My second daughter is unemployed at the moment.
What do you do?
I'm a project manager for an internet company.
And what do you do?
I've been working temporary agencies. I'm do office work.
I gather, Ms. Davenport, that you've had a difficult adulthood. That be a fair statement?
Yes.
How many children do you have?
I have 3 children.
How old are they?
15, 12, and 10.
Who do they live with?
They live with me.
Have they always lived with you?
Yes, they have.
Where's their father?
Both my girls, their father passed away.
Do they get Social Security?
Yes.
From their father?
Yes.
Who passed away. And your other child?
My other child, his dad is alive and working. He's not in the home anymore.
Does he contribute to that child?
To his child, yes.
How many times have you been arrested?
2.
For what?
Auto theft, that it was an abandoned car, but that was dismissed. It was wrongful arrest. And the second time was for forgery of papers that due to the car.
Part of the case involving your mother involves posting bail for you. All those cases were dismissed?
The case has been dismissed, yes. It's been resolved.
What happened to the bail your mother posted for you?
My mom paid it.
Any of it returned to you?
No.
Any of it returned to you?
No, I've not received anything.
Well, that's your case. Your case says that you loaned your daughter money for bail.
Right.
Tell me about that.
On January 26th, I received a phone call from my daughter who was very panicky, upset, told me that she had been arrested, and she begged for me to post bail. And she told me that her kids needed her, and would I please bail her out. And I said, no, I could not. And her comment to me was, Mom, I need you to do this for me. It's a loan. I can pay you back. I'm getting to income tax money, and this is only a loan. You don't have to worry about it. It'll be paid back. And I continue to say no because in the past I have also given her money that was never repaid. And so I hung up from her, and when I received a call from my granddaughter, her daughter, that stated that she needed her mother, that these kids really needed her.
Well, they had to live someplace. 15, 12, and 10 had to live someplace.
Right, and that's the reason why that I fronted the money, and I did authorize $2,500 bail, and she was released that night so that she could be with her children. 1 week later, I received a call that she'd been rearrested, and they needed at least $500 to get her out, which I did post, with the understanding that it was a loan and that it would be repaid.
I'm listening.
I never said I would repay it. I did beg, and I did call, and I pleaded, but she knew my financial situation and knew that there was no way I could repay that money.
Sorry.
Were you there during the conversation?
She had also called me before she'd called my mother in both cases. The second time especially, I probably was on the phone for a half hour listening to her beg to pay the money. And she did say to me as well, I have an income tax check coming in for $4,000. If you do this for me, you'll get that money. And when I talked to my mom later that day and found out my mom had posted the bill, I had heard that she told her the same story.
Did you get an income tax refund?
I didn't get an income tax refund. I wasn't working last year.
At all?
No.
Well, how do you survive?
I was living with my son's father, and he was supporting us.
How do you survive now?
My Social Security, and I've been working...
Who's Social Security?
My kids' Social Security.
That's not your Social Security.
Right.
It's not for you.
It's to pay for their keep, for their housing, for whatever they may need to survive. Plus, I've been working at the temporary agency and making my own money, too. I mean, their Social Security is not enough to live on.
Of course it isn't. So how much have you been making?
I make about $500 every 2 weeks.
And when was the last time you worked?
I worked last week.
Doing what?
General office work.
Tell me about the loan you made to your sister, alleged loan.
So on 12/18, I received a call at work that her car had been impounded.
06?
07, sorry. And that she was at the impound lot at that moment. She had cash in her hand, but they would not accept cash. I was a little skeptical, but I talked to the impound lot myself, and they said, yes, that's their policy, that they did need a credit card. And so I went ahead under the understanding that she was going to be bringing me cash within the next few hours. As soon as she had her car out of the lot, she would make it to wherever my location was, that I'd be getting back the money, and it was for $310.
So is that what you put on your credit card?
$310 on my credit card, yes.
Did she return any money to you?
Yes. So she was supposed to show up that day. She did not show up. One of her daughters called me and said that they weren't able to make it that day. And I said, hey, we're getting together for Christmas Eve, which is a week away. Don't spend the money. Bring it to me on Christmas Eve. And I was told, okay. On Christmas Eve, we all got together, and I was handed an envelope and told it was not all there, but I would be receiving the remaining amount. I said, okay, as long as I'm getting the additional funds. I opened the envelope later. It was $100, so she still owes me $210.
Okay, go.
The $100 was a Christmas gift, Your Honor.
Just a second. You can't afford a Christmas gift of $100.
No, that was my way of saying thank you and that I appreciate it.
Want to get back to, please, the car being impounded. What was the car impounded for?
My car was impounded for lack of registration. I had driven it to the gas station after we had put a new transmission in it, and on the way back from the gas station, I got pulled over for the registration.
You mean it was impounded because you didn't have your registration?
My tags had been expired for up to a year.
For how long?
It had been out of commission for a year. And we had just got done putting a transmission in it. That it costed me a lot to have the transmission put in, and it costed me $677 to get it out of impound with the registration and the impound fees from the police department.
And
I explained to my sister that I had the money to pay for that, but the $310 that I needed extra on top of what I had, that I didn't have that. And I asked, they're my family. I went to them for help.
Not true at all.
You're making it up as you're going along, Ms.
I'm
Davenport.
not making it up.
Yeah, sure you are.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Frankie Ray Callahan and her mother, Frankie Spitaleri, are suing Ray's sister, Wendy Davenport, for a loan to post bail. Wendy says the plaintiffs knew she could never repay the money.
Listen, it's clear to me that there's something going on here. There's some sort of pathology that I'm not getting a full story about. I don't even want to go there. Quite frankly, it's not something that I have to deal with. It's something that you have to deal with. It's something that you have to make sure that your grandchildren, that your nieces and nephews are protected.
Exactly.
And, okay, it would seem to me, if you're the only family that's around, you have to make sure that that happens. I don't want to get into the rest of your sister's pathology.
Yes.
I do, however, know that she owes you $210.
Thank you.
Because there's no way that she gave you, with all of her financial hardship that she's going through, gave you a Christmas gift of $100. Did she give you any money for Christmas? No, of course
Everybody
not.
else I did buy gifts for.
Whether you bought them gifts or not. You didn't give your mother money, so there's no way that she gave you $100. It's a Christmas present. As far as the bail is concerned, that has a ring of truth to it, that if somebody is in jail and wants out, she's going to promise you anything. And she promised you tax return money, even though she didn't work the year before. Anyway, she owes you $3,000. She owes you $210. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Because my sister's got it easy.
They're all choices we make.
She went to college. She's got the job. She's got the house, the kids.
I chose not to have kids early. I chose to put my education first.
She doesn't know what it's like to live without those things.
I just think she needs to be responsible and take accountability for her actions.